Sorry. And for each creature, there is a description, like a biological description of them. I'm going to be reading that to you. So, let us begin. Red bulborb of the grub dog family. This large organism has the familiar mandibles and cranial morphology of the grub dog family, as well as the characteristic bulging eyes. As with most grub dogs, the creature's cranium comprises half of its total length and girth, showing a scarlet abdomen with white spots. This creature is primarily nocturnal, choosing to prey upon smaller creatures, returning to their nests, originally classified as the spotty bulborb. Further research has reclassified this species as the red bulborb. Subspecies of varied colors have recently been discovered, but academics are divided into two rival camps over how to handle their classification. Not what I meant to do. Hairy bulborb grub dog family. This subspecies of grub dog has a thick coat of soft, light fur that obscures its abdominal markings. The fur also warms its vital organs, making this species well adapted to colder climates. However, its hair follicles are surprisingly frail, which can result in immediate hair loss if the creature is surprised. I think I can actually show this here. Is there a way to do it? Yes. There we go. And if we wait just a little bit, I believe that once it wakes up. Yep, nope. You saw it for a little bit, but its hair grew back almost immediately. Orange bulborb grub dog family. This bulborb species boasts a garish color pattern with a deep orange body and black spots. The orange bulborb's yellow, bloodshot eyes make it clear that this grub dog is excessively edgy and high-strung, making it much easier to wake from deep sleep than other species in the bulborb family. Next up, dwarf red bulborb, breadbug family. Although initially identified as a juvenile red bulborb, groundbreaking new research indicates that this creature is in fact a member of the breadbug family, a close relative of the vanilla breadbug. It escapes predation through mimicry, unique adaptation of the red bulborb's crimson coloration that allows the species to safely commingle. Such effective adaptation and obfuscation by a prey species is rare, indicating this clever creature is a master of mimicry. Also, you might notice that there is two things there, Olimar's notes and Louis' notes. I'm reading from Olimar's notes. You might be wondering what's Louis' notes, and I'll show it. For a blissful bisque, mince the entire beast finely and stir in with heavy cream, artichoke hearts, and a pinch of black pepper. Heat slowly until piping hot. Rich and creamy. Snow bulborb breadbug family. Like the dwarf red bulborb, the snow bulborb is a member of the breadbug family that seeks to survive through imitating the appearance and behavior of a bulborb. Its pale coloration and blue spots make for easy identification. In particular, this organism mimics the hairy bulborb, but it is of course unable to grow the hair that gives the hairy bulborb its name. However, as the hairy bulborb has been known to lose its hair in certain circumstances, the snow bulborb is an effective mimic that is often mistaken for a member of the same species. Dwarf orange bulborb breadbug family. Just as dwarf red bulborbs mimic the appearance of red bulborbs, it was theorized that an orange bulborb mimicking variant must also exist. Recent fieldwork has confirmed this theory. Spotty bullbear grubdog family. A mid-size subspecies within the grubdog family, the spotty bullbear's unique feeding habits set it apart from other grubdogs. The spotty bullbear patrols a set path, searching for prey, instead of passively feeding on creatures that wander into a limited territorial range. When entering bullbear habitat, it is wise to proceed with extreme caution until the bullbear's patrol path can be clearly identified. Now this next one is interesting. Dwarf bullbear grubdog family. Yes, this is actually a juvenile bullbear. A grubdog larva in its third stage of development. This creature's body structure is nearing maturation. However, unlike mature bullbears, it has yet to claim its own patrol route, and thus is dependent upon its parent for guarding direction. Bulborb larva, Onculus bambini. I wasn't reading the scientific names before, and I'm not going to read them now. Grubdog family. As its name implies, this creature is a bulborb in an early stage development. Its distinct bulborb coloration has yet to appear, but it already exhibits other uniquely bulborb characteristics. It is capable of hunting nourishment independently without the help of its parents. Fiery bullblacks, grubdog family. Bodily excretions of a highly flammable waxy substance interact with the cell structure of this grubdog's skin, causing a chemical reaction that produces extremely high temperatures. The skin benefits from a spongy cell structure that diffuses the surface heat, protecting the creature's inner organs. Due to the astonishing amount of heat produced by this beast, it should be observed with great caution. Water dimple, grubdog family. A resident of freshwater pools and marshes, this aquatic creature regularly feeds on insects that land on the surface of the water. It shares a nearly identical skeletal structure with its close relative and terrestrial cousin, the bulborb. This may offer clues to its evolutionary origin and suggest that it only recently emigrated to an aquatic habitat. Pikmin family. This This loathsome creature is in fact a parasitic form of Pikmin that has infected a bulborb. Unlike Pikmin that nest in Pikmin onions, this parasitic relative spends its life inside the body of a host, usually a bulborb. Juveniles fall in line and mimic the actions of their parent until maturing to full independence. By burying its root-like limbs into the nervous system of the host bulborb and infusing it with natural hormonal excretions, the bulbmin is able to control virtually all of the host's bodily functions. However, the host's ferocious appetite seems impossible to suppress. Grind the meat and season with allspice, salt, and ground white pepper. Press the seasoned meat into meat satchels, then pan fry them with onions. Prior to serving, smother the brats with Dijon mustard and sauerkraut. Buns are optional. Fiery blowhog family. We are now out of the cryptog family, although we are not quite out of the breadbug family. This creature expels a volatile phosphorus compound from its snout that combusts upon contact with air. This fire-breathing ability is dependent upon the air-to-fuel ratio at its mouth, catalyst reaction with the expelled compound, and purification of the compound. Thus, it is highly unlikely such a complex process could cause the spontaneous explosion of a fallen blowhog. This process is also perhaps to avoid risk of spontaneous combustion in the belly of a live specimen. However, one should still treat a fiery blowhog with great care, even after its life functions have ceased. Watery blowhog family. A variant species of the fiery blowhog, the watery blowhog lacks several of the genes necessary for the production of fire-producing catalysts, and thus expels jets of non-flammable liquid. This subspecies appears to have only recently evolved. However, the hereditary traits of this variant are dominant and highly robust, so its population is rapidly increasing. Armored cannon beetle larva, lithopod family. This specimen is a lithopod larva. This expedition was unable to confirm the existence of any mature lithopods, leading to concerns that the species was extinct on this planet, but discovery of the creature in larval form eased such concerns. Lithopods, like flint beetles, use internal metabacteria to aid chemical digestion. These metabacteria can only survive in certain environments, such as within the body of certain insects. So lithopod larvae do not contain any metabacteria immediately after hatching. Larvae feed. Larvae feed on partially digested or regurgitated by mature lithopods, ensuring the larvae obtained metabacteria they would not normally have acquired. Decorated cannon beetle, lithopod family. This creature is the larval form of a cannon beetle variant known for a diet consisting entirely of eating stones. The decorated cannon beetle favors stones with high iron content, which contributes to its brilliant red torso. The stones these creatures launch are wrapped in a powerful magnetic field, which causes the close proximity to this fearsome creature. Puffy blowhawk. Blowhawk family. This species of blowhawk uses internally generated hydrogen to inflate a flotation bladder and hover above the ground. The creature's electrified pulse creates a sash of color that flows along the surface of its body, making it a particularly beautiful blowhawk species. Precisely how it is able to internally stabilize its highly explosive hydrogen and simultaneously generate electricity remains a mystery. The puffy blowhawk blows leaves and grass around to eat the insects underneath. It maintains mid-air buoyancy by using its fins and releasing air through blowholes. This enables it to float effortlessly, even in the breeze. In times of danger, the puffy blowhawk can decompress its flotation bladder for a rapid escape from predators. Withering blowhawk family. The withering blowhawk is a close relative of the puffy blowhawk, but its breath is significantly weaker. However, its breath does contain a petal withering plant hormone that causes flowers to instantly lose their petals. Although its breath has not been studied in detail, analysis of the chemical compounds involved hold great promise for the biotechnology sector. Gatling Grunk, unknown family. This beastly predator's aggressive ejection of high-speed projectiles makes it one of the most fearsome creatures in the ecosystem. Its body seems to comprise of both biological and mechanical components and represents one of the most evolutionary advanced specimen ever observed. The chamber within its torso gives it rapid-fire biopellet launch capabilities. What appears to be a tail fin is in fact the base of its counterweight and ammunition cylinder. So immobilizing this appendage will prevent the grunk from attacking, at least in theory. Confirmation of this suspicion remains elusive, as nobody has volunteered to test it. Iridescent flint beetle. Flint beetle family. Flint beetles are nocturnal, choosing to hide in the grass by day and stay active at night. These creatures keep undigested food pellets in their stomachs to sustain them through winter, but given the right stimulus, they will spit them out. Recent research has revealed that these pellets are enveloped in a membrane that seals and preserves them in a sterile, airtight environment. If kept at room temperature, it seems that this pellet membrane will keep its contents fresh for up to 6 months. The membrane may be made from the same substance that gives the exoskeleton of the flint beetle its beautiful shape. Iridescent glint beetle family. This variety of beetle consumes subterranean minerals. Due to the fact that it rarely emerges above ground, sightings of this particular species are extremely rare. While minerals are this beast's primary source of food, the beetle itself does not have the ability to digest these minerals. Instead, metabacteria living inside the beetle's stomach chemically breaks down the minerals. The resulting purified metal is discharged, but rare metals such as gold and platinum crystallize onto the iridescent flint beetle shell, resulting in the beautiful laminated shimmer. Doodlebug. beetle family. While life forms that excrete foul musks don't warn the danger to warn of while life forms that excrete foul musks to warn of danger are not rare, the doodlebug is the only specimen known to release flatulence when active above ground. Interestingly enough, since it is merely releasing the gas created by the decay of the contents of the creature's intestines, it does not have a special musk-producing origin. This means that the creature is in fact merely producing flatulence. Spectral analysis of the rank gas indicates it contains not only methane, but hydrogen sulfide as well, making the flatulence a grade 13 biohazard. I think that's what that is. Female sheargrub, mandiblard family. The males of this species are purple and black creatures with tapered mouths, while the females are lighter in color and lack an armored exoskeleton. As with most mandiblards, these creatures have regressed to the point where they have lost both legs and wings. They can be seen crawling around on the ground and are believed to feed on the vegetable extracts of the congealed fluids of expired Pikmin. Male sheargrub, mandiblard family. This specimen is a male sheargrub, having lost both legs and wings. The male burrows into the soil and waits to ambush small creatures that pass by. This beast's mandibles can be dangerous, making creatures such as Pikmin easy prey. Sherwick, mandiblard family. Unusual for their genus, flying mandiblards have retained their wings. However, only the adult males of this species can fly. Females of this species spend most of their lifespan underground. They do emerge for a period after maturation to spawn, but never metamorphose. Cloaking baronet family. The snake-eye pattern on this bee's shell is one of the most distinctive features of the baronet family. The red pattern of the cloaking baronet and the spikes around its mantle make it easily identifiable while still making it a representative specimen of the baronet family. The shell on the cloaking baronet's back also provides a frame that fixes its muscular structure in place and appears to give the creature its powerful needle-launching attack. Ravenous whiskerpillar family. As this species of insect has only recently been discovered, fully mature specimens have not yet been collected. No molting or metamorphosis has been observed during the observation period, making it unlikely that mature whiskerpillars will be encountered anytime soon. Based on active predation by Pikmin, it is believed that the whiskerpillar's place in the food chain has not changed over time. Anode beetle, scarab beetle family. This specimen is representative of an insect hybrid that uses electricity in addition to glycogen for its energy. Although difficult to confirm due to their microscopic size, tiny hairs on this creature's legs cause the friction that generates the electrical charge. The electrical charge is processed by the creature's internal Magina battery structure electrifiable, no, electrical field. As this field reaches critical levels, surplus electricity is emitted, resulting in a low voltage current that is transmitted between specimens. It can shock other creatures in the immediate vicinity. Considering this process, it can be surmised that the largest impetus to pack behavior is not so much for synergic effect of producing as a pack, as it is to take advantage of the most effective means of group preservation. Midnight, unknown family. These parasitic insects feed on eggs. Upon reaching maturity, they excrete a special pheromone that attracts females of particular species, enticing these females to swallow the midnight's whole. Pikmin, however, seem to dislike the scent. After entering the host female's body, the midnights lay their own eggs inside the host's eggs just prior to the host spawning. Hermit Gromad family. Looking at the eyes and sickle-shaped legs, characteristic of squillas. One would think that this is a squilla relative. In fact, it is a relative of the hermit crab. This species, however, has migrated from seaside life in a shell and instead inhabits burrows in the ground. While its legs appear sickle-like, they are pincers. Pincers that have evolved into a fin shape. This beast feeds on small creatures that pass by its lair, dragging them inside to eat them. Swooping snitch bug. Scarpinid family. The scarpinids originally lived on the ground, sporting poorly developed vestigial wings. This species developed large antennae that can be used as makeshift wings. Scarpinids are attracted by the sight of large groups of Pikmin in cavalry formation and will swoop down to seize them. However, scarpinids do not eat Pikmin, and they will drop any seized Pikmin after a short time. The reason for this behavior is unknown, but I look forward to future research in the area. Bumbling snitch bug. Scarpinid family. This is a variety of snitch bug. Its most interesting characteristic is that it likes to snitch leaders, yet barring wanton carelessness or incompetence, leaders are not easily captured. Any leader caught by this creature is clearly an idiot, which is why the creature is also known as the exposing snitch bug. There are several known varieties of snitch bug, but research has stagnated despite it being such an interesting species. Careening Dirigi bug. Dirigi bug family. This creature floats effortlessly through the air using gas-filled balloons. Both its appearance and its nature are antagonistic, and it is the only variant of the species in this ecosystem. It may be best to consider the possibility that it somehow wandered into this ecosystem from an entirely alien one. Positive proof does not exist at this point, but that is how the creature is currently classified. Antenna beetle, cattlebug family. This creature is able to control the Pikmin by way of peculiar spotted jellyfloat. Lesser spotted jellyfloat. Jellyfloat family. This naive jellyfloat is indigenous to the region. Unfortunately, it is currently endangered as its habitat is being overwhelmed by a hostile invasive species. Whoops. Greater spotted jellyfloat. Jellyfloat family. Vivid pink coloration is the most noticeable characteristic of this floating life form. This invasive species is not native to the region, having appeared to have recently arrived on wind currents. The luminescent organs atop its head attract prey, which it then sucks up and consumes with its lower orifice. Unlike jellyfish, the jellyfloat's tentacles do not have nematocysts, so there is no danger in touching them. Fiery Tweevil family. Members of the Tweevil family are known for carrying objects of astounding size on their backs, then mimicking them. The fiery Tweevil is one species in this family. Generally, this is a very gentle insect that feeds on grass nectars, but when faced with danger, the fiery Tweevil ignites flammable internal gases, juts out its jaw, and spews scorching flames. As this clearly makes it a rather dangerous insect, it is best not to linger directly in front of it. Tweevil family. Members of the Tweevil family are known for carrying objects of astounding size. The Tweevil is one species in this family. They seem to have no particular preference for which objects they carry on their backs, as they will carry anything they can lift. They boast an internal organ that generates electrical charges, which the Tweevil releases when it senses danger. Tweevil family. The Tweevil is one member of an insect family known for mimicking objects by carrying them on their backs. Several points of differentiation with other members of species have been confirmed, such as body color and behavioral patterns, but none of these suggest major deviations in the creature's genetic structure. This makes it clear that it is a relative of the family. When attacked by enemies, the Tweevil spits out bodily fluids in response. Spacesuits corrode and oxidize when they come in contact with this liquid. Tweevil family. The Tweevil is one member of the insect family known for mimicking objects by carrying them on their backs. These insects often carry the carcasses of other life forms on their backs, but apparently this is not for the purpose of transporting them as food, but instead is another example of their mimic behavior. The Tweevil produces two different chemical compounds within its body, which form poisonous gas when mixed and expelled. This gas is used only for self-defense. Volatile Tweevil family. The volatile Tweevil is one member of an insect family known for mimicking objects by carrying them on their backs. The Tweevil family exhibits a most unusual characteristic whereby the creature's behavioral patterns actually change based upon the object the creature carries on its back. The volatile Tweevil has one of the most potent attacks of all species within the Tweevil family. Due to its habitat of carrying explosive devices, approach with caution and or body armor. Don't wait. This scorching species combusts upon contact with the tongue, only edible by the adventurous and asbestos-tongued. species of creature has yet to fully evolve from shelled mollusk to the more advanced ploister. Compared to that ploister, this creature is significantly smaller. The fact that its mandibles do not protrude as significantly as the ranging ploister is due in part to the fact that, like most mollusks, its vital organs are located deep within the creature's carapace. Yellow Wallyhop, Amphituber family. This magnificent specimen has the brightest gold coloration and the greatest number of lateral spots of any member in the Amphitubers family. This species seems to have lost some swimming proficiency with the evolutionary adaptation that granted its greater jumping ability. The Amphituber inhabits aquatic shallows and shows an instinctive drive to jump upon and squash smaller creatures. Wallyhop, Amphituber family. It is believed that juvenile wallyhops were once carried by underground current into caverns where they thrived in the dark habitat. This troglodytic species of wallyhops coloration results from generations of cave dwelling and lack of sunlight. Comparative differences between the size and shape of this wallyhop and other species are thought to be the result of natural selection at work, choosing traits better suited to life in a subterranean environment. Walpole, Amphituber family. The wallyhop spawns in early spring, laying its eggs on low-hanging tree branches and shrubs growing in or near lakes and ponds. Such unorthodox amphibious behavior is a defense mechanism protecting the eggs from predation by blue Pikmin and water dimples. The wallyhops wild hopping near the shoreline in early spring is thought to be a method of driving predators away from walpole eggs. These are all the same, I believe, but I will read one of them. Lapis lazuli candy papa. No matter what color Pikmin is tossed in the bosom of this flower, it spits out the same number of blue Pikmin seeds. This family of plant boasts soft, fleshy leaves, the sinewy tendrils of which allow the flower to open and close repeatedly over the course of a day. Crimson candy papa family. The Pikmin, the candy pop flowers, and the Pikmin onions are not easily explained by current theories of xenobotanical sciences, and thus have not yet been appropriately studied and classified. Golden candy pop bud family. Current research has yet to produce any theories as to precisely what kind of interaction causes the Pikmin to change color to match the color of this flower's petals. Violet candy pop bud family. Research from our most recent expedition has confirmed the presence of candy pop buds in subterranean regions. Considering the ecologies this plant has been found in, one could surmise that it could be found in any cavern, regardless of geographic region. Tossing Pikmin into this flower results in the release of purple Pikmin seeds, regardless of the color of Pikmin tossed in. This variety of candy pop bud contains robustly adoriferous oils. If candy pop flowers could be cultivated, there is no doubt the plant would offer multifaceted benefits to the cosmetic, medical, and tourist industries. Ivory candy pop bud family. research from our most recent expedition has confirmed the presence of candy poplins and subterranean raisins. Considering the micro, one could surmise tossing pigment into this flower produces white ash. Okay. In many cases, plants with small leaves typically have limited photosynthetic capabilities and thus must find alternate means of obtaining nutrients, with parasitic and predatory behavior being most common. The candy pop bud could be considered one such example. Queen candy pop bud, candy pop family. This specimen constantly changes colors. When a Pikmin is thrown into it, it shoots out the seeds that match the flower's coloration the moment the Pikmin landed inside of it. The number of seeds shot out is always greater or equal to the number of Pikmin thrown in. It can be said that this is a completely baffling plant, and many mysteries remain over precisely what sort of relationship it has with the Pikmin. It would appear that the Pikmin gain all of the benefit from the relationship. Perhaps it is simply a different variety of Pikmin to begin with. Creeping chrysanthemum. There we go. Chrysanthemum family. Like Pikmin, the creeping chrysanthemum is a member of a group of creatures with ambulatory root structures. This creature is known as a mimic, but because it is actually a form of plant, this label is not entirely accurate. For unknown reasons, the creeping chrysanthemum's mimicry does not fool Pikmin, perhaps because they share a similar heritage. It relies on preying upon other creatures to provide sustenance, so it has no need of leaves for photosynthesis. Generally speaking, the role of plants within the ecosystem is as a producer species, and thus plants are generally found at the bottom of the food pyramid. However, on this strange planet, the line between producer plants and consumer plants is blurred. Skitterleaf, skitterling family. The skitterleaf is a relative of the pond skater that shed its wings and adapted to life on the ground. With no residual traits of its airborne past, the skitterleaf can neither fly nor skid across the surface of the water. The wings have since evolved into the leaf-like structure on its back, which serves to hide the skitterleaf through mimicry. It appears quite effective, as few predators can see through this clever disguise. Unmarked spectralids, Flitterpea family. When strolling through the forests of this planet, clouds of these creatures are seen dancing overhead, like flower petals drifting in the breeze. The sight of Flitterpeas dancing in the lush green undergrowth is unforgettable. Flitterpea collectors drool over the specimen sample boxes lined up in order, highlighting the sight color. Gradation changes from blue to red to yellow. Such items fetch particularly high prices at auction. Honeywisp family. This floating life form drifts effortlessly on the winds. Upon death, its physical structure instantly collapses, and as the creature is particularly elusive, indifferent, and difficult to catch, no sample specimens have been acquired as of yet. If we could simply recover a live sample, research on this species would likely proceed more smoothly. Mamuda, unknown family. The imbalanced, asymmetrical arms of the Mamuda are among its most notable features. Feeding on seeds and fruit, the Mamuda is known to actually sow and grow plant species, while other species have exhibited seed-burrowing behavior for the purpose of storage. The Mamuda is the only species so far However, some researchers claim to have observed breadbugs being overwhelmed by massive numbers of Pikmin and reduced to food. Breadbugs are hardy and nutritious, but also bland and unimaginative. They may be palatable in a pinch, but they hold no true culinary promise. Piklopedia, pelletweed family. In the stem of the Piklopedia, one can observe the muscle fiber unique to half-plant, half-animal species, such as the Pikmin and candy pop flowers. So the Piklopedia is a species that can be considered a close relative. Although the ability to crystallize nectar is unique to a small group of the pelletweed family, the fact that these plants reach maturity so quickly and that their pellets contain such high concentrations of the natural nutrients in the soil explains why the Pikmin and so many of the other indigenous species are so reliant on these pellets for sustenance. Common glowcap family. The light emitted from this rare mushroom is neither reflective nor a release of stored light. It grows not only on decomposing trees, but also on soil and rocks. This mushroom's fungal filaments are capable of stabilizing and concentrating pure Hucatonium, Hucatadium 111. It is none other than the Hucatadium 111, approaching the point of critical mass that causes the glowcap's blue luminescence. Clover family. This is a naturalized species. These plants are extremely persistent, and with the assistance of symbiotic fungus that grows on its roots, the species is able to survive even in drought conditions. Typically, its leaves come in groupings of 3, but intense impact on the leafing stem early in development cycle can result in extremely rare 4-leaf cluster. Figwort family. This plant offers an excellent example of non-native species introduced into the ecosystem by some unknown method. Upon introduction, it quickly established a foothold and adapted to the new habitat. This plant's distinct flowers usually exhibit a stunning blue color in early spring, but recent fieldwork has recorded specimens displaying a deep red hue. Although this may represent a sudden deviation in genetics of the species, the red coloration is much more likely an anomaly. Additional readings suggest no significant atmosphere or solar radiation changes have occurred in the ecosystem, leaving open the possibility that soil composition and mineral deposits may have affected petal coloration. Dandelion family. This perennial grows best in locations with full sun exposure. Its flowers boast countless tiny yellow petals packed together in a head. The species seems to have as many weed-like variants as petals, so more detailed research on these plants would best be left to a botanical research specialist. Seeding dandelion family. It is believed that this plant produces tufted seeds with a parachute-like arm, which allows the seed to ride gently on the wind. This increases the distribution range of the plant considerably. Horsetail family. This variety of horsetail is prevalent in regions with low nutrient content in the soil. Unlike most other plants, this particular species propagates itself through the release of spores. I understand this is just plant stuff, but I think it's cool. Foxtail family. This plant remains erect after withering and losing its color, so we can only hypothesize about its at the true color of the plant's plumage. However, local soil analysis indicates trace amounts of dormant seeds, making it not hard to imagine that the area was thick with these plants in the summer. Glowstem, glowcap family. Although they are obviously unrelated, the glowstem bears a striking resemblance to the streetlights on Kokidate. It is highly possible that glowstems could be a relic of some unknown civilization beyond the scope of our imagination. Margaret. Chrysanthemum family. This plant's delicate yellow flowers often inspire waves of nostalgia, giving the bittersweet feeling to any who gaze upon them. Fiddlehead fern family. At first glance, this plant resembles the spring used in the ship's sublight engine. Many of its most primitive characteristics remain intact, including its habitat of spreading through the dispersal of spores. Unknown family. This is a young shoot of some kind, but what kind of tree species does it belong to? What shape will it take when it matures and grows to full height? Unfortunately, we are only able to obtain information from our portable scanners on a select few of the countless number of species we've encountered, but even as our expedition only yields brief observations of the life we encounter, it will still provide a better understanding of this bizarre plant. That's a plant or planet. Bizarre planet, okay. Now we're on to the last view. Empress bullblacks, grub dog family. Initial observations placed doubt on the capability of the grub dog family to support a strong and or beetle-like social structure. But recent studies show the family is capable of such complexity for brief periods when certain external parameters are met. The egg sac of the largest female grub dog within a given range swells to dramatic proportions in response to environmental changes, such as the sudden depletion of prey species. These females temporarily take on the role of pack matriarch. Also, in pack formation, it has been observed that nearly all males not involved in species reproduction undergo natural sex changes. The characteristics of such specimen are quite intriguing indeed. Burrowing snagret, Snavian family. The majority of snagret species lie in wait to ambush and capture prey with a body type perfectly adapted to such sudden strikes. It violently attacks small, surface-dwelling insects, distributed across a relatively wide range. Subspecies of snagret suited to the varying soil conditions have emerged, making the snagret the most geographically represented species besides the bulborb. Visually resembling the burrowing snagret is the burrowing snarrow, the range of which partially overlaps with the snagret's range. While the two may appear similar, when pulled from the ground they can be distinguished by the presence or absence of tail and wing markings. Beady longlegs, Anachorn family. Although this creature is commonly associated with spiders, it is actually the result of a separate evolutionary line of insectoid creatures. Since the spherical body section supported by the creature's legs carries most of the internal organs, there appear to be no other features that would correspond to the head or abdomen. There we go. Emperor bullblacks, Grubdog family. The largest member of the Grubdog family is normally found buried in the ground, with only the stalks of its eyes exposed. This camouflage allows the predator to surprise smaller creatures and use its long, adhesive tongue to capture prey. The thick hide and angular hump give the organism a distinct rock-like quality. During the rainy season, moss grows freely on its hump, making it nearly impossible to distinguish this lethal predator from a stone. Giant breadbug family. This gargantuan species of greater breadbug family has a torso so perfectly square that it almost seems like it was formed in a mold. For a brief period after birth, the giant breadbug competes for food with smaller breadbugs, but upon reaching maturity, it seeks out much larger prey. This is the primary reason that two species with similar feeding habits can coexist in the same habitat, or its effect might appear to pose the only plausible threat to this massive creature's life. Although cooking, I don't know why I need to make sure of that. Although cooking this colossal beast yields a mountain of meat, every ounce of it is flavorless, only suitable for intergalactic all-you-can-eat buffets. Pileated snagrid, Snavian family. This variety of snagrid has the ability to both burrow underground and walk above it. Its earthy red coloration and distinct yellow ear and eye markings make it immediately recognizable, despite featuring a shimmer-like merging of serpent and avian features. The pileated snagrid has more eyesight for a bird, perhaps due to the extended period spent underground. To compensate for this, its nose features a thermal sensing organ common to many snakes, making it a dangerously effective hunter. Manat legs, Arachnoid family. This species of Arachnoid family fuses with machinery at a crucial point in the maturation process, giving it the ability to fire energy bursts from the launcher beneath its orbicular torso. However, the Manat legs itself is not in control of this weapon. Instead, the mechanical portions of its structure appear to automatically acquire and attack targets. The Manat legs has a gentle disposition, and as a member of the Arachnoid species, it has no natural enemies. It is particularly difficult to understand why this species would develop such awesome offensive capabilities, leading to rumors among the scientific community that it was the machinery that approached the Arachnoid and proposed the symbiotic relationship. Although the meat is a bit on the metallic side, the oil makes up for a mouth-watering gravy or lubricant of vinaigrette. Ranging Cloister, mollusking family. This species of mollusk has shed its shell through the process of evolution. What appears as a flower-shaped protrusion on its back actually functions as its gills. The ranging cloister ensnares small animals with its sticky tentacles, reels them in, and consumes them. Observers have noted that this creature exhibits a keen interest in flashing objects. It often tries to capture and ingest these objects. Researchers and explorers equipped with flashing identification beacons should be wary when in close proximity to this dangerous predator. Water Wraith, unknown family. All that is known about this creature stems from a few sightings deep underground. All reported sightings feature the same core set of details: a giant vicious form with a clear, hazy sheen not unlike hard candy. One theory holds that it may be the ectoplasmic incarnation of segmented crabster, creep crab family. This gigantic beast is wrapped in a hard shell, and in a typical evolution, the right front leg of this creature is hypertrophic, taking on the function of an arm rather than a leg. Its asymmetric physical development is unique in the natural world. One unlucky explorer's incorrect conclusion that this creature adheres to a pattern of peaceful, quiet behavior led to an unfortunate incident. In fact, this beast exhibits intensely hostile, aggressive tendencies, aiming at prey and ramming them at full speed. Ranging long legs, arachnoid family. Arachnoids boast a wondrous biological composition with a silicon-based exoskeleton and innards coated with malleable heavy metals. However, much about these creatures remains a mystery, as specimens regularly explode when they are dissected. These explosions produce scorching flames that completely melt all internal organs, leaving us with a disappointing lack of information on the inner workings of this species. We must await the development of new dissection processes and more specialized research before we can better understand this enigmatic creature. However, the following observation notes have been recorded. Appears to be leveling terrain. However, the following observation notes have been recorded. Appears to be leveling terrain for some unknown purpose. Location of eyes and ears not readily apparent. Freezing a specimen may yield new research opportunities. Neither boiling nor baking can diminish this creature's overpowering musky scent, only suitable for serving to to unpleasant in-laws. Titan Dweevil family. The largest member of the Dweevil family, this fearsome predator carries protective components that frequently exhibit offensive capabilities, an evolution that may be attributed to mere chance. Another evolutionary theory is that the contents of the objects carried by Titan Dweevils contributes to possible gene splicing. While other Dweevils do not seem to choose the objects they carry, the Titan Dweevil appears to prefer shiny objects above all others. And that is it for Pikmin 2. However, we're not quite done yet. There are still some research logs in Pikmin 3 that we have not covered yet, and I would like to cover those. White spectralids, Flutterbee family. It's remarkably similar to its unmarked brethren, but the telltale wing patterns and lone pair of hind legs give it away. It sticks to its own habitat for the most part, though it may fly away to reach a flower or escape a bullblax. It will soon return to its home. The white variety gathers no nectar, but sometimes may be found carrying a pellet. Medusal slurker, Umbloda family. Most of its body is translucent and gelatinous. It drifts on the wind using the puff stalk on its head and captures passerby below with its adhesive menembrium. The purpose of this behavior is unknown, as examining its catches reveals no trace of saliva or gastric fluid on them. Unlike most aquatic jellyfish, it has no tentacles. Nematoses, making it safe to handle. It may even be safe to ride in, opening up exciting new transportation possibilities. Shutterchuck, evil family. Its main offensive strategy is to launch the crystal it carries on its back, otherwise it's completely defenseless. In most circumstances, it's a peaceful herbivore whose diet consists primarily of moss. When in danger, however, it wastes no time defending its territory by breaking small rocks and hurling them at the threat. In order to ensure it has a steady supply of rocks with which to defend itself, it shares its habitat with calcified crush larvae, so it can make use of shells that cast off each night. Armored Maudad family. It makes its home inside the hollow stumps of enormous trees. The name is derived from the hard shell covering its entire body. As it grows, it can only mold its shell by slamming into rock walls to shatter it before forming a new one. It has a ferocious appetite and doesn't hesitate to eat anything that it sees. The contents of its stomach are often a surprise. Joustmite, Baronid family. Others within this family wear their shells on their bellies, but this one's shell functions more like a helmet. Its wings have atrophied into uselessness, so instead it burrows beneath the ground and pops out only to pierce prey with its needle-like proboscis. Entering their bodily fluids, larval joustmites remain underground for years or even decades in some cases. Phospat, Aerodentia family. This infant stage of Behemoth Phospat has underdeveloped wings and cannot yet fly. It is what? No, that's not. It is Zeophilus from birth to the point where even the low lights of common glow cap or light bulb will cause it to vaporize. The chromatophore excretions that the adult Phospat uses for camouflage are overwhelming to its fragile infant form and may cause apoptosis in excessive amounts. My own lamp does not trigger this reaction, possibly because its light is the wrong wavelength. Phospat pod, or Phospat sac. I guess they have two different names. Aerodentia family. The famous Phospat's egg sacs are found affixed to surfaces around its lair. Each sac spawns roughly 5 baby Phospats, stopping when enough pheromones are in the air to trigger its automatic response. This keeps the population density of Phospats in any given cave at a sustainable level, which is important given the limited supply of food available in this habitat. You can serve this piece eggs right from the shell with a sweet velvety texture they melt in your mouth. Wow. Behemoth Phospat, Aerodentia family. It is forced to live in darkness due to its extreme photosensitivity. The specialized chromatophores on its skin can absorb faint light sources to turn completely transparent. Its wings and spines are covered in mildly toxic scales that paralyze small insects until it can inhale them with a powerful vortex. Often creatures that involve in darkness have atrophied eyes and albinism, but this is notably not the case here. It does, however, show a tendency to only venture out at night with other cave dwellers. Bearded Ambrat, Numbus family. The hair covering its face works as a capacitor. It charges electricity by rubbing the hair to build static, then discharges it at enemies intruding on its territory. It's more territorial than aggressive, attacking only when threatened rather than to hunt prey. It has several qualities unique to this ecosystem, such as breastfeeding its young, which may someday give rise to a whole new taxonomy of fauna here. Panrose the size with with sprigs of rosemary and whole garlic cloves, finished with a squeeze of fruit juice to highlight the subtle notes of lingering electricity. Okay. Wait. Oh no, this is not the same thing. Bug-eyed Gromad family. Like its close cousin, the hermit Gromad, it makes its home in a burrow rather than a shell. It has abnormally overdeveloped eyes with which to detect prey in cloudy water or low visibility mud. These enormous eyes can perceive circular, polarized light as well as the ultraviolet and infrared spectrum. It is well protected from predators, allowing it to live for upwards of 50 years to grow to immense size by repeated ecdysis. Yeah, this is just gonna leave. Yeah, okay. Whip-tongue bullboar, grubdog family, rather grubdog. Instead of gnashing jaws usually found in related species, it uses its extensible vicious tongue to capture prey even before it opens its mouth. It's recognizable by its tapered snout and black spots against its white back. Some theorize that it evolved its long tongue to snatch prey drawn to high blooming flowers, but others point out that no infant specimens have ever been seen, suggesting a radically different biological branch. It has only recently been reclassified as part of the grubdog family. Swarming sheargrub, mandiblard family. In contrast to the more common variety of mandiblards, it spends its entire life above ground without ever going below the surface. It hunts for food in packs, preferring to feed on nectar and fruit juice since its jaws are too weak to capture prey. It grows quickly after feeding, but it has difficulty moving at its larger size. Shaggy long legs. Anachnort family. Thick hair grows on its spherical center as well as its joints. One would think it's there for protection, but it's a simple matter to pluck the hairs out. Several coloration variants have been cited, most likely due to regional characteristics rather than stress or advanced age. They normally sit docile above trees, but will descend to scare off intruders with loud footfalls. Technically, this is merely a shaggy long legs that has lost its hair, but since the hair never grows back, this is considered a separate species and classified. Oh, an Anachnort family. But since the hair never grows back, this is considered a separate species and classified under its own name. It has similarities to the beady long legs, but it doesn't secrete wax from its exoskeleton and thus lacks its cousin's unique patterning. The absence of wax also allows small insects to climb its legs without slipping. Its central orb splits horizontally, but researchers have yet to determine the significance of this difference. Sand-belching meerslug family. This giant, limbless invertebrate has a distinctive large orifice. It sends a cone-shaped trap in its sandy layer and waits for prey to fall into it. The main orifice serves as both mouth and anus. When it inhales sand, the grains go through its intestinal canal and come out polished and hardened when they are ejected. It's sensitive to sound and vibration. The best time to catch it off guard is when it jumps out from the sand after being startled. Arachnode. Arachnid family. This spider-like creature has distinctive yellow stripes on its back, carapace. It spins webs in high-traffic areas and waits for prey to plunder into them. Unlike its relatives in the Anactorp and Tweevil families, it's ambisexual and has 8 legs. Some theorize that it's genatry is meant to aid in reproduction, though of course it cannot reproduce on its own. There is another theory that the specimen is in fact 2 organisms of opposing genders stuck together, but since no one has ever found a 4-legged single-sex specimen, this remains speculative. Pyroclasmic sludge family. A species of terrestrial snail-coated inflammable mucus instead of the traditional shell. The creature stays lubricated through constant secretion of mucus so that the fires never reach its skin. The most fascinating aspect of these creatures is their instinctive ability to avoid causing widespread fires by carelessly brushing plants. Remove tongue and discard the rest. Cook over a charcoal grill until medium rare. Scornet. Hunt and peck family. These highly social insects always travel in groups. Each of them has a unique role in the colony. This type is a small. This type is a small, though still adult worker female. Rather than lay eggs, they spend their lives carrying out the queen's will. In response to their queen's sonic commands, they move in unison as if they were a single entity. To see them dance through the air is a sight to behold, but don't look too long. Their stingers are still deadly. Flighty joustmite, Baronet family. It's a close relative of the original Baronet species, but this variety of joustmite still has the use of its wings. Oddly, it still makes its habitat below ground and employs the same tactic of waiting, of flying in a way before emerging to strike. The helmet protecting its head is functionally as hard as steel due to the waxy secretions in its pores, which absorb and redirect any shocks it sustains. Nectarous dandlefly family. Its life cycle comes in 2 stages. First, it hatches into water, where the amphibious larva preys on tadpoles and other small aquatic creatures. After it grows large enough, it takes to the surface and completely changes its diet to focus on plant nectar. The more nectar it feeds on, the more segments form in its abdomen. Upon reaching 5 segments, it is a mature adult ready for reproduction. Its straw-like proboscis curls upward to prevent reflux from the nectar it stores. Scornet maestro, Huntebeck family, known for its striking liverform mouth. It does not settle at a particular nest, but migrates across the waters in search of food in the spring. The maestro awakens from hibernation, but the advent of summer, she travels with a male partner to the cooler climate of the mainland, where food is plentiful. The male is smaller than the maestro, with a white body and blue feet, back, and tendrils. It has no wings and thus cannot fly. The maestro secretes a pheromone to control workers to carry out its commands, which it issues via complex musical cues. When the maestro is no more, the listless and directionless workers perish along with the rest of the colony. Spettlefish, Squirtler family, achieving a translucent look without iridophores and featuring 2 tentacles instead of 10 are the signature characteristics of the Squirtler family. Its radical fins, resembling the petals of a flower, lend it a certain beauty as it swims, making it a popular ornamental pet. generations and cuts via photosynthesis through its symbiosis with zooxanthellae. Zooxanthella. So if you engage it, be sure to finish the job. Puckering Blenau. Ellipse family. Many assume it's underdeveloped due to its large eyes and lack of fins, but this is simply its normal, fully grown form. Though its dorsal and ventral fins have atrophied, the long caudal fin helps to compensate for this. It can leap high enough out of the water to catch low-flying prey. The scales comprising the round patches along the sides are known to turn light pink during breeding seasons. Wattlebus Floppler family. Its eyes and stubby feet make it look like an octopus, hence the name, but it's closer in anatomy to a starfish. It's nocturnal and sleeps by day, but stays alert for approaching predators, which it drives off by puffing itself up and releasing bubbles. Closer research suggests that the true purpose for the bubbles is to protect its eggs during spawning season. Quackled Meyerclox family. A rule of thumb is that the larger a creature is, the more it must consume to support its body weight. The quackled Meyerclops is no exception. It uses its root-like legs to drain its environs of nutrients to the point that puncturing it could improve the entire surrounding area's ecosystem. It also catches small insects using a hidden tongue and the wide mouth found all about its circumference. What prey it manages to catch, it dissolves to their base compounds, such as nitrogen, phosphoric acid, and potassium. Its inside are fertile ground for a wide variety of plants, including sleeping beauty and dusty mushrooms. Some theorize that the fruit-like growth atop its main body is itself a parasitic species, living off the nutrients it drains from the Meyerclops' enormous body. Oh, fun fact, you might see it says Wollywog and not Wollihop. For a long time, the name was different in the US and the United Kingdom. In the United Kingdom, it was called Wollihop, and here it was called Wollywog, and that's because the term, the last part of the Wollywog's name is actually considered a slur in the UK. So, the more you know. Calcified Crushblat. Crushblat family. Originally, these creatures were water-based mollusks. Their hard shell let them live on the land by keeping its soft flesh from being exposed to predators. It absorbs nutrients from the water through its skin, which is a relatively inefficient way of feeding compared to hunting. As a result, it spends most of its time sedentary due to its low metabolism. The crystal shell on its back is made of silica that it absorbs. The shells shed by younger crushblats find use as projectiles used as scutterjacks. Actually, there is one that I may want to... I actually think this is it. Yes, Arctic canning larva, lithopod family. Like other members of the lithopod family, its internal bacteria are specialized to form ice compounds from ambient moisture, which it then exposes projectiles. It technically doesn't rely on cold temperatures to create this ice, which is formed by pressurized internal fluids that act as a coolant. When the projectiles rapidly expand, they absorb ambient heat, lowering the air temperature enough for the moisture in the air to freeze. Desiccated skitterling family. The skitterling variant that resembles dead leaves. The legs have developed in specific ways. The front claws capture prey, while the flat hind legs are suited for running and swimming. Its highly tuned senses keep it still for any creature but Pikmin. Once it gets its claws on its prey, it doesn't easily let go. Recent research has revealed that its camouflage has a second purpose beyond hunting. Scavengers aren't fooled by its disguise into carrying its eggs. No, scavengers are fooled by its disguise into carrying its eggs, thereby expanding the population. Peckish aristocrab, onion shell family. Its unnaturally large claws used for catching prey, for self-defense, and, most surprisingly, for its mating call. Most aspects of the crab's life revolve around it, which may explain why the crab becomes fearful and docile when the claws damage. It would also account for the claw's remarkable regenerative capabilities, which can restore it completely in a single night. It is also known to blow bubbles when under attack, but this is a result of it venting from the wrong discharge valve when under extreme stress. Plasm wraith, unknown family. This unusual life form consists of an amorphous body around a hard cubic core. This body can shift not only into different shapes, but into different substances. It reminds me very much of the water wraith, and at first I wondered if it was also an ectoplasmic incarnation. However, enough others have seen and encountered it to dispel this theory. The creatures living near the plasm wraith must be formed from the gelatinous substance, since they all liquefy upon its death. It's not clear what purpose they serve for the wraith. It's currently unknown what caused the hole in its torso, some sort of manifested psychic wound. But the search for this cause may lead us down the path of unraveling the history of evolution on this planet. Despite its refreshing citrus scent, the flavor of this beast is decidedly dangerous. Red spectacles, letter B family. The red wings have several spots, unlike the lone spot on each wing of the yellow variety. Its scales contain trace amount of ultra-spicy flakes, which are mixed into its saliva as it sucks up the nectar from flowers. The combined flakes, saliva, and nectar are refined in the ultra-spicy nectar inside the creature, which it uses as a growth supplement for its eggs. Despite this, its reproductive capabilities are quite low. It is for this reason that the red variant fetches astronomical prices among collectors. Yellow spectroclids, letter B family. The primary morphological difference from their spectroclids is the eye-like spot on its hind wings. When crossbred with other spectroclids, the offspring has a 25% chance of inheriting these spots on orange-colored wings. With this count as a new subspecies. And this is the last one. The spitter spatter family. It skates on water at high speeds thanks to the tiny hairs on the tips of its feet. These hairs are coated in an ultra-hydrophobic substance to minimize friction against the water's surface. Its long proboscis functions as a straw to take in water, which is stored in a reservoir in its head, as well as to spout as a weapon against small insects. While taking in water, it also takes in microscopic plankton, meaning that its prime means of defense is also a feeding mechanism. The extremities cannot be used for food, but you can drink the liquid inside for stimulating. Okay. And that's it. I hope you found this relaxing, and I hope that this was able to get you to sleep. That's about it. I hear that Pikmin 4 might contain its own